Okay, let's talk about Oracle performance. If you work with these databases, you know that pressure, right? The pressure to tune things perfectly. But what if the very tools you're using are actually leading you down a dead-end road? Today, we're going to talk about the wait event trap, and more importantly, how you can get out of it. This quote just cuts right to the chase, doesn't it? In the world of database tuning, making the wrong move, like, say, buying a bunch of expensive new hardware because you misread a single, that can be so much more damaging than just doing nothing at all. And the consequences, well, they're serious. We're talking about wasting weeks on the wrong fix, pushing through pointless changes, and yeah, in the worst case scenarios, even causing an outage that brings the whole system down. This isn't just theory, this stuff has a real impact. So that's the big question I want you to keep in the back of your mind as we go through this. The signals your database is sending you, are you reading them right, or are they quietly leading you straight into a trap? All right, time to put on our detective hats. We're about to investigate some of the most common wait events that get misdiagnosed all the time. These are the usual suspects, the red flags that make everyone panic, but usually have a perfectly logical explanation. And here's the big one. The AWR report lands on your desk, and right there at the top of the list is CPU. Immediately, alarms start going off in people's heads. It's just a classic knee-jerk reaction. But here's the fundamental misunderstanding, and this is so important. High CPU is not a wait event. It's literally the opposite of a wait event. It means your database is busy, it's crunching through data, it's doing exactly what you pay all that money for it to do. It is working, not waiting. So it all comes down to context. If your CPU is pegged at 100%, but your application is flying and transactions are completing in milliseconds, that's a healthy system. Now, if your CPU is high and response times are terrible, okay, then you've likely got an inefficient SQL problem. You see, CPU usage is a conversation about capacity, not some simple tuning shortcut. Our next suspect is a master of misdirection. You see direct path read pop up at the top of your report, and instinctively you want to point the finger at the storage system. But the real culprit? It's usually hiding in plain sight. And this one requires a total shift in how you think about it. The myth is, my storage is slow. The reality is that this wait event means Oracle is intentionally using a special, often highly efficient method to read data. It's bypassing the normal path for a very good reason. Think about it. For massive operations like parallel queries or huge table scans, trying to load all that data into the main memory buffer cache would be a disaster. It would just flush out all the useful stuff and slow everything else down. So Oracle is smart. It bypasses the cache. You'll see this all the time in data warehouses, and it's perfectly normal. And you know, that same little magic trick we just saw with reads, well, it happens with writes too. It's another classic case where your attention gets pulled in completely the wrong direction. So you see direct path write, and the first impulse is to get the storage team on the phone, but hold on, more often than not, this is a sign of something else, like temporary data spilling to disk during big sorts or joins. It's a clue that you need to look at your SQL, or maybe your memory allocation, not your disks. Let's move on to our next case of mistaken identity. This one is a really effective trap because the name itself, free buffer waits, is just so incredibly misleading. So you see the word buffer, and your brain instantly thinks about reading data into memory. That's the myth. The reality? This wait has almost nothing to do with reads. It's actually about a session needing a free block in the buffer cache, but it can't find one because they're all full of dirty data that hasn't been written to disk yet. This means your investigation needs to pivot completely and focus on the writing process. Is your database writer process struggling to keep up? Is there too much checkpoint pressure? It's a totally different line of questioning that you need to be asking. Now for a real classic, latch cache buffers chains. Back in the day, seeing this was a 5-alarm fire. It was the old school panic button. But in modern systems, it's really not that serious most of the time. The key is to look at the total time waited, not just the raw count of waits. A high count of super short waits could be completely fine. Okay, let's totally flip the script here. So far, we've talked about waits that aren't the problems they appear to be. Now, let's talk about waits that are actually signs of a healthy, well-oiled machine. These are the times when waiting actually means you're winning. This is probably the most common wait event you will ever see at the top of a report, and the myth is that it's a database bottleneck. But the reality? It's the exact opposite. It means the database finished its work and is now just sitting there, patiently waiting for the application to send the next command. I love this quote because it reframes the whole situation perfectly. Seeing SQLnet message from client at the top of your report doesn't mean your database is slow. It means your database was so fast that it's now just twiddling its thumbs, waiting for the application to catch up. Here's another so-called problem that's really a feature. A user comes to you complaining that their session is being throttled, and they point to this wait event as the smoking gun. But this isn't a bug, it's a safeguard. It just means the database resource manager is doing its job, preventing one runaway session from hogging all the CPU and taking down the whole system. So how do we avoid all these traps? How do we become better performance detectives? Well, it's not about trying to memorize every single wait event. It's about adopting a new mindset, a new toolkit for calm, rational analysis. And this new approach really boils down to 3 simple steps. First, context. What is the application even supposed to be doing? Second, correlation. Never look at a wait event in a vacuum. See what other system metrics are telling you. And third, and maybe most importantly, calm thinking. Resist that urge to jump to the very first conclusion you see. Look, if you take just one thing away from this whole explainer, please let it be this. A wait event is a signal. It's a clue. It is not a conclusion. It's the starting point of your investigation, not the end of it. And that leaves us with one final thought to take back with you. The next time you see a performance problem flare up, just take a step back, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this really a problem? Or is it maybe a feature, a safeguard, or even a sign of efficiency that I've just been looking at the wrong way this whole time?